Here we are again with another less remembered entry into a AAA franchise. Rockstar Games, a subsidiary of Take-Two Interactive, are both a developer and a publisher. So while looking at their list of games on Wikipedia, several games and some mobile ports are made by others. In 2004, one of their many studios, Rockstar San Diego, thought, hey, you know what we haven't made yet? A Wild West game. Well, alright. The people who brought us Grand Theft Auto are going to do cowboys. I'm down for that. So, because of this very specific period in history that exploded in popular culture, we got Red Dead Revolver. According to the Red Dead wiki, this was originally a Capcom game, but Rockstar took it over and made it more western-y. Japanese versions of Western popular culture is always a delight, like seeing into an alternate dimension. But no, Rockstar took this and said, we'll make our own Wild West game with hookers and blackjack. Oh wait, that's an accurate description. The American frontier, 1800s. No specific date. Nate Harlow returns from a very fruitful gold prospecting trip with his partner Griff.
Darling! Son! Our troubles are finally over. We hit a vein of gold as wide as a locomotive that runs clean through Bear Mountain. Hey, Pa, where'd you
Having a pair of unique revolvers made, Harlow gifts his old revolver to his son Red. Well, it's the Old West, so the first thing we do is to learn how to shoot. Fortunately, shooting is very forgiving in Red Dead Revolver. Enemy and target hitboxes seem to be very generous, and a subtle auto-aim that can't be disabled. Due to the open spaces out here and the low resolution, this is a must.
Red, up the hill and quick, boy. We're getting raided.
I'm coming, Pa! 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 Get up, Pa! 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 Get up, Pa!
But shit, word of Nate's windfall has come to the attention of Eva Diego, who has sent his right-hand man, Colonel Darren, to kill Nate's family so word of the gold doesn't get out. But not Red. Red bravely takes his father's gun out of the fire and shoots Darren's arm clean off, leaving Red with a burnt red hand. A red right hand, if you will. Yes, it's that old cliched Batman story of child watches parents get murdered in front of them and vows revenge. 12 years later, Red is a bounty hunter. Good thing too, as there's a lot of assholes around.
What the hell are you looking at?
No matter where Red goes, there's always a gang of dicks to take care of.
Well, you did good, son, but you're out of luck.
The Sheriff of Widow's Patch is thankful for Red's assistance, but can't pay him. The sheriff gets injured in yet another gunfight, and the nearest doctor is in Brimstone. Anybody who's only familiar with the Red Dead Redemption games may be disappointed by the lack of open world. Red Dead Revolver only focuses on the linear missions. Go here and do thing. Now go to the next set piece and do another thing.
It's a long ride to Brimstone, but I reckon I'll manage.
Here, the thing is a train ride to Brimstone. And in classic Wild West style, of course there's a guy holding up the train. This is where we learn dueling. Pull back on the right stick, push it forward, and then try and control the most annoyingly floaty cursor imaginable. Select 6 targets on the opponent's body, try to aim for vital points coloured in red and probably fail anyway. This is tricky. And now Red is suddenly outside the train. See what I mean about just moving from one scripted location to another? More assholes, yay.
Ah! Why is the train speeding up? Something must have happened to the engineer! Ah!
And now the train is speeding up, so Red needs to quickly get to the front of the train to save the driver. Oh god, this is so cliched. Anyway, enough of this long-winded tutorial. Red finally arrives in Brimstone, which will be the main hub for the rest of the game.
I got your telegram. Mighty grateful to you. I may have some work for you. Stop by my office later.
There are several places to visit, so let's take a mosey through town. Is this it? Am I doing it right? Is this how one moseys? There's a gun shop where Red can purchase new firearms, a bank to purchase a property or two. It's a good thing money immediately goes into Red's bank account when shooting a bad guy. How convenient! A general store, a tailor, a hotel, etc. A lot of the purchasable items are only there to unlock journal entries. There is a barber, but sadly one Rockstar tradition it does not continue is that you can give Red a giant afro.
If you're as good a bounty hunter as O'Grady says you are, you could help me with a couple of real outlaws wreaking havoc in my territory.
Visiting Sheriff Bartlett will get Red work. There are plenty of varmints out there to take care of, and other characters to meet and play as.
Excuse me. Excuse me, sir. I seem to have found myself in a most unfortunate situation.
This is Jack Swift, Englishman and gentleman sharpshooter, who has got himself into a spot of bother.
Wasn't that easy, don't you know?
Red rescues Jack from his birdcage and helps him take care of the dicks who imprisoned him.
I just need one more week. I can pay you the $5,000 that I owe, but the governor is bribing my ranch hands to leave, and I cannot do it by myself.
This is Annie Stokes. She owes the bank money on her ranch, and when she can't pay, Mayor Griffin orders the burning of her ranch. Annie doesn't take too kindly to this and kills all of Griffin's goons. Boss fights are tricky, but this is where the generous hitboxes are welcome. What isn't welcome is the melee combat. When Red has access to the saloon, another Wild West trope is crossed off the list when a bar fight breaks out. The main objective is to make sure the prostitutes don't die. Easier said than done. Punching and kicking feel disconnected. Red will move his foot in the direction of an enemy and maybe it will make contact, maybe it won't. A good strategy is to trap them into a corner and watch them comically cease to be a threat. And speaking of comically, this is a Rockstar game, so of course, it doesn't take itself seriously. It's hard to be invested in Red's search for redemption when you have these almost Looney Tunes level of characters around. Let's just say the word varmint is thrown around a lot. Characters that wouldn't be out of place in a Yosemite Sam or Speedy Gonzales cartoon. Look here when Red has to take down...
Mr. Black!
What the hell? Did I just put the Dark Watch disc back in? Ah, good. I defeated...
Mr. Black!
This certainly hasn't moved too far from its Capcom roots, from what footage I've seen. It's quite arcadey, but this wouldn't work in an actual arcade. It's too in-depth for that. This mix does work to a certain degree. It has the story and characters, but it's a point A to point B shopping list of set locations. There isn't even a map, because Red can't leave the designated area until the current objective is complete. This ticks every Wild West cliché in the book, and that's fine. It's Rockstar, so it has that mix of serious and silly that we all know and love. It's well presented and well voice acted and mostly plays well. The controls are a little imprecise, and the melee combat definitely could have done with a tweak. The obvious aspect of Red Dead Revolver is its linearity. It's very set-piece based. It almost feels like a glorified collection of tech demos for the Red Dead Redemption games. There is the main storyline, but it's all, Red's doing this now. Now he's over here. Now you're playing this person all of a sudden who will be shoehorned into the story somehow. But for Rockstar's first foray into the Wild West genre, this is a good start.